So you're thinking of running a marathon, a good place to start is your gear. Because if you have bad gear, you're not going to make it past the first couple of weeks of training. You're going to be sore, bad shoes, or not wearing braces or stuff like that, and ultimately you'll end up quitting. So I'm going to make this short and sweet. Starting from the ground up, first thing you need is a great pair of shoes. Don't look at the price tag, just go to the shoe store and check them out. I am a big fan of Asics. I've always liked Asics. But again, this is something that's kind of runner specific, so you're going to want to try them on. But I've always liked the Asics, the way they felt. So when I say don't look at the price, that's because sometimes the cheaper shoe is the better fit for you. Like these were actually, I think, I want to say $100, but the $130 shoes were less comfortable for me. These ones were always the best. My feet felt the best after a long run with these ones. So again, going from the ground up, next thing is socks. Now I know that sounds funny. This is the sock that I like to wear. I don't like the ones that stop right at the heel because it ultimately, after miles and miles and miles, it'll wear down and then rub in the back of your heel. I always get the dork ones, the long ones, and it has to be the Nike dry fit ones for me. I'm really funny about that. When you're going on a long run, you'll understand. Moving up from there, I always wear a knee brace. This is the kind that I get. It's just a compression sleeve. It's not the kind that fits around your kneecap. I've always found those to be too bulky with the Velcro straps. It's just a compression sleeve, just enough to give your joints some support, but not so much that it's gonna just be bulky. And like I said, after 10 miles, it's really gonna start to bother you. So, simple pair of knee braces. This also is not gonna be something that's for all runners. I get a compression underwear, and I know that sounds goofy, but my legs rub just a teeny tiny bit with every step, and with these underwear, instead of my thighs rubbing, it's the underwear rubbing. Now you might not have that problem based on whatever shape your body is, but I do, so I get these just to prevent chafing. To cover it all up, I just have a cheap pair of pants. Just loose fitting pants. I don't wear those tight ones. I'm not a shorts guy. I've always wore pants. That's just me. Moving on from there, I always wear a compression shirt on the underside. Same reason with the compression shorts underneath the pants. Chafing. After 10-20 miles, that t-shirt rubbing against your wet skin is going to start to chafe, and the compression shirt helps with that on all of your sensitive bits. And then over that, I wear just a regular exercise shirt, a moisture wicking one. This so happens to be the kind that I like. I'll post a link in the description. I am kind of picky, having done a few marathons. That's basically what I wear when I go running. And then on top of that, I always have a hat. It's always that hat. Very funny about my hats. Also, moisture wicking, just a regular Under Armour hat. And then in training, I always wear a Apple Watch. It doesn't have to be an Apple Watch, but definitely a heart rate monitor of some kind. This just so happens to be my favorite. But you get what you want. I'd suggest at least, it doesn't even have to be a new one. I think this is the Apple II. Yep, Series 2, which is waterproof. That's important because you're going to be sweating a lot on all of your training. And then so after you do your run, I always ice my joints. Because you're going to be going on very long runs. This bag, you put these ice packs go in the bag and they get tossed in your freezer. And these are basically like a knee brace that you wear after your run, just to keep it iced, keep any kind of swelling down. Just something simple like that is going to help any inflammation. Recovery is going to be faster and get you back on the road or treadmill, depending on what you like, quicker. And also, it's up to you if you're a music person or a book person. I'm kind of a book guy. When I go on a long run, I need something that's going to keep my mind off of what I'm doing. And I either use a phone or just a regular iPod Touch. These are old now, so you can actually get them pretty inexpensively. Now for headphones, this is probably also a bit overkill. I use the AirPods. Thing with these though is if you're gonna do anything active, these tend to fall out, for me anyways. And again, this is gonna be something that's specific to your shape ear. For example, my wife loves these. This is all she needs, and they never fall out for her, but they always fall out for me. So if you're gonna use AirPods, I have these guys where the AirPod slips in, and this makes all the difference in the world. Just this little thing. And there are a few different ones you can get with or without this part that goes in your ear canal. But this is the one that I wear. It stays in and it isolates the sound just a tiny bit. So it's like any other earbud. And then this little piece on here sits inside of my ear, and that'll keep it in no matter how active I am. But that's just me. You may not like those. If you're gonna go with a cheaper headphone, I recommend one without a microphone. One that's just the two earbuds. I've had it where, and I always tuck my cord inside of my shirt, and if the cord is inside of the shirt, sometimes the microphone is weighted different than the other side, and it'll pull the ear out. After a couple thousand times of fixing it, it starts to get irritating. Again, that's just something that's specific to me. And that's it for the gear that's on your person. The other thing I'm a big snob with is a good water bottle. That's the water bottle I use. It's a Yeti with a rubber bumper. This thing takes a beating and it goes everywhere with me. This is not something that you're going to want to use if you're a road runner. Obviously, it's too heavy and bulky. I primarily run on the treadmill, which is another piece of equipment that I have, which you may or not have access to. There's nothing wrong with using the road, but just the convenience for me. I have a very sturdy sole treadmill, which I knew a guy that serviced treadmills, and he always said that the soles have no whistles and bells, but are extremely tough. Whereas if you get something like a Nordic track, they have all the whistles and bells and break all the time. So I just have a sturdy, accurate treadmill that can take a beating, go on long runs. Another thing to consider if you're going to get into marathons is also to look into some good joint supplements. The only one that I typically take is glucosamine. This is just a joint supplement which has glucosamine in it. But if you're going to be running that many miles through the training schedule, take care of your joints. And that's what I use. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll talk to you next time.